Zip. Zip.
Huh?
I have been asking you if you want extra cheese on your pizza for like 10 minutes. What's up with you?
Oh, sorry. Just thinking about something weird that happened earlier.
The thing with Posey?
Oh, yeah, that. So, have you figured out the whole magical wings and horn appearing at random times thing yet?
No, and it's been getting worse.
Maybe Posey has a point. Magic is unpredictable.
You just need to show the Earth ponies that magic is nothing to be afraid of. It makes Equestria a better place. And it's fun.
How are you ponies thinking what I'm thinking? Every pony, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Floating parade! Right?
Not exactly, but close. We are going to use Maritime Bay Day as our chance to show off all the amazing things magic can do. Then every pony will remember just how special it is that we have friendship and magic in our lives again. Are you ponies in? Definitely.
You stumble through your days, got your head on low, your sky's a shade of gray, like a zombie in a maze. You're asleep inside, but you can't shake away, 'cause you're just a dead man walking, thinking that you're on an option, but you can flip the switch and brighten up your darkest day. Sun is up and the color's blinding, take a world and redefine it, leave behind your narrow mind. Never be the same. Come alive, go light your light, let it burn so bright, reach it up to the sky, and it's open wide, your legs will fight, and the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever be, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open, and you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive. I see it in your eyes. If you believe that lie, that you need to hide your face, afraid to step outside, so you lock the door, but don't you stay that way. No more living in no shadows. You and me, we don't have that. 'Cause once you see it, oh, you'll never, never be
volcano was wreathed in acrid ashen smoke, filtering the early morning light and casting all colors in muted shades of gray. The only brightness came from the orange glow of the magma in the crater's core. On the volcano's rim, a dark figure stood, staring down at the molten rock. The elderly ram's emaciated frame was ill-suited even to the task of supporting the black-hooded cloak that covered it. Only his curling blue-black horns were visible. He didn't turn around when a teal Pegasus alighted a few paces behind him. The mare carried a full pair of saddlebags on her haunches.
You took longer than I expected you to. Lightning dust.
The ram's wheezy voice was dry as tinder.
I was beginning to think you wouldn't come back.
I work better when the folks who hire me keep me in the loop. Maybe I would have got back quicker if you'd mentioned the dragons.
The Pegasus snorted disdainfully and flipped her short orange mane out of her eyes with a flick of her head. The action revealed a fresh claw mark on the side of her face. The ram let out a desiccated chuckle.
You said you were the fastest pony there is. I assumed you'd outpace them without any trouble.
His voice dropped in tone.
It's the nectar you needed to focus on. Did you fetch it?
Yeah, I got your plant goo.
She rummaged in her bags and retrieved a small clay jug.
It wasn't as tough as you said it would be. I guess those young dragons like dipping gems in this stuff to polish them. They pretty much cut it to pieces by the time I showed up.
The ram tensed, an irritated growl making the edge of his hood ripple.
Those simpletons!
His voice took on a fierce, throaty edge.
That was the first full-grown specimen in 200 years. They could have...
The ram caught himself, and then took a moment to calm down.
No matter. With this, I can begin.
The folds of the ram's coiled horns glowed with a starkly colorless inner light, and a similar aura surrounded the clay jug. It floated over, to hang in midair next to the ram as he trotted up to a small black iron cauldron which sat on the edge of the crater. With a further glow, a dollop of black mud lifted out of the cauldron.
Muck from a battlefield's blood-soaked soil.
The ram intoned, and then tossed the filth into the magma below.
Hey! Aren't you forgetting something?
The ram ignored the pony, magicking up and unstoppering the clay jug.
Nectar of a full-grown lashing flume.
The thick golden syrup spilled into the crater. Lightning Dust took a step forward.
You said you'd pay me!
Again, the ram's only reply was to continue feeding the volcano.
Fungus fed of a black rock oil.
Lightning Dust scowled.
Can you hear me?
A tainted sea's unwholesome spume.
Stop ignoring me, you old goat!
Hydra skin.
The skeletal horror turned to face her at last.
And blood from a traitor to her kin.
A silver-bladed sickle floated up out of the cauldron. Lightning Dust backed away. Her ears drooped.
What are you talking about? Me? You mean me? No way! I'm no traitor!
She turned and spread her wings.
Ah!
With a flare from the undead ram's horns, Dust found herself hanging in the air, as still as a stone. Her saddlebag slipped off her haunches and dropped to the barren ground.
Oh, but you are. By helping me, you damned your entire world.
Ah!
His magic swung the helpless Pegasus around, dangling her over the molten pit. The hovering sickle lashed out and made a thin slash across her right cutie mark.
Ah!
Dust cried out, galloping in midair and struggling against the monster's magical grip. Blood ran down her leg, and a few drops fell down into the darkening magma.
Ah, but you were right. I did promise you a reward, didn't I? Very well.
Colossus vanished. Dust struggled to right herself and catch an updraft as she tumbled down toward the bubbling surface. The heat singed her hide, but she gathered some precious lift. All around her, the magma began to bubble and seethe, a purple-black corruption spreading through the orange ooze like venom in a wound. The magma's level began to rise, and columns of darkened sludge surged upward like the tentacles of some vast undersea beast. Dust squinted against the eye-stinging smoke and trusted her wind sense alone to help her dodge the rising obstacles. She streaked out of the crater, a tail length ahead of a rising flood of boiling slime, a jagged lightning contrail marking her path. Behind her, the ram's hollow, cackling laughter echoed, followed by his mocking cry.
Yes.